This episode is a mirror. If you've been hiding, delaying, avoiding being on camera for whatever reason, you're just waiting to feel ready, this is your wake up call. Consider this your wake up call. In this episode, I'm going to share two stories of regret. These are two of the biggest regrets of my career and how they revealed a pattern that you may have noticed yourself in your own life and in your own business. So, buckle up, let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome to the Fear No Video Show. I'm your host, Jasmin Bryant, the founder and creator of Fear No Video, your brand visibility strategist who helps women over 40 get out of their own way to have thriving, successful businesses by showing up on camera, creating content in a way that is not overwhelming because you, my dear, are not a full time content creator. You're a businesswoman. So let's act like it. All right. So today I am going to share with you two stories. We're going to talk about something that we don't really talk about a lot, and that's regret. And I'm not talking like the cute regret, like, oh, I didn't buy those jeans that made my ass look good, or oh, I should have taken this, trip, but I didn't. I spent money on whatever, right? I'm not talking about those regrets. I'm talking about the regrets that you talk yourself out of something that could have changed your life. And it's like, it's like a gut punch in a way, right? When you realize that. So I'm going to tell you these two stories, and they still kind of sting a little bit. I'm not going to lie. They still sting a little bit, but they happened years ago, but the lessons are still the same. Fear will cost you way more than visibility ever will. So let's hop to it. So, if you've been following me for any length of time, or even, if you've been following me, you kind of know that I have always wanted to be on Broadway. I was an actor out in Hollywood for a little bit. I've been on stages and in front of the television cameras, in front of movie cameras, and all of that since I was a teenager. But Broadway, I always wanted to be on Broadway. And I let someone talk me out of pursuing that as a career because I was told that I wasn't enough for it. And I listened. Wasn't pretty enough, wasn't thin enough, wasn't tall enough, wasn't enough, right? And then many, many, many years after childhood, I had the chance to get a walk-on part in Chicago, the Broadway show Chicago, was one of my favorite shows. And this wasn't like I had to audition for it. This was a charity auction, and people weren't bidding super high for this auction. And I was like, I'm going to get this because I'm going to be on Broadway. I'm going to, do something on Broadway. And it wasn't a speaking part, it wasn't a dancing part, well, kind of dancing, but it was one of the six Mary Murderesses of Murder Row or whatever it was. Um, it was, just one of the women who stand up on the jail cell, right? But I wanted to do it. And I took myself out of the running. I talked myself out of it because, well, I was all gung ho. I'm like, I've got this. I'm going to do this. And I had my price in mind of how high I was going to go for this auction. And I'm like, I got this. And then I said, oh, but you have to wear this particular costume. And I said, I won't look good in that costume. I don't want to do this. And I talked myself out of it. And I was so mad that I did. Um, there has never been another opportunity like that for Broadway Cares, the auction. And so I was like, this sucks because I let my fear talk louder than my desire. And I feel like a lot of women business owners do the same thing in life and business. And it's not that it's not that the moment just passed. like I gave it away. Like I gave that moment away, right? And that's what really sucks is because I gave that away. It's not like the universe was like, sorry, it's not for you. It's not meant to be, Jasmine. No, Jasmine said, take it, universe. I don't want it. And I've never seen it again. And so fast forward, I was living out in Hollywood. I was acting. I was, you know, I was doing it full time. I wasn't making a fortune at it. Like I was no Angelina Jolie or Halle Berry or anyone amazing, right? But I was making, some traction, which was great. And then I was asked to audition for a Wayne Brady show. Don't forget the lyrics. I don't know if it's still on now. Um, but I was asked to audition for it, and so I was really pumped about it. I did the first audition in the car over the phone. You had to sing, and I'm not the strongest singer, but my personality was great. I chose a song that worked with my pitch, and I did it. Nailed it. They said, "Great, come in to do an in-person audition now." So I'm like, great, I got this. Now I'm still all full of like, yeah, full on my own cheering section. I get to the audition, I sing my song, and it wasn't a song that they particularly cared for, but I did it. I did it well, and they called me back for a third audition, which would have been the final audition to be chosen, and then get on the show with Wayne Brady and sing my heart out in front of, millions of people on TV. And that last audition was in a larger auditorium the next day with a large audience. And I froze. I went home. I was all excited. I told my friends I was going to do this, and the casting director really loved my energy. So even if I didn't nail the song, I feel like I would have been offered a chance to compete. And I didn't go. I did not go. I panicked. I talked myself out of it. I said, who am I to get up on a stage in front of millions of people and sing with Wayne Brady? Who am I to do that? And it really, it, it's a parallel to what we do, right? Because yet again, this was a door that I closed on my own. I used my own hands to slam that door shut. This was an opportunity that was offered to me, and I talked myself out of it. I mean, this wasn't just an audition. This was visibility. This was exposure. This could have changed everything. Not just the prize money, but the cachet of being able to say, I was a contestant on this show. And even if I didn't win, I showed up. And just think of the confidence boost that you would get from singing on stage in front of millions of people. But I panicked. I panicked. I didn't go. I slammed that door shut yet again. Fear won. And this was something that could have led me to something else. So let's just call this what it is, right? This is fear. It is panic, and it will rob you blind if you let it. Fear has a cost. It's a real cost, right? Fear will decide your future if you hand it the microphone. If you let it win, it is going to cost you so much in your business. It will cost you missed opportunities. It will cost you missed ventures. It will cost you clients. It will cost you money that you will never make because no one knows that you exist. It will cost you connections that you'll never make because you stay off camera. It will cost you your brand. It will cost you everything because a brand that stays invisible dies. Momentum dies in your drafts folder. You have all of this stuff that you've written, all of this stuff that you've presented on camera, all these ideas that you have, and they're just sitting in a drafts folder on your computer. They're sitting in your camera roll on your phone, and it just dies. That momentum that you had just it's gone. And most women over 40 underestimate how much money that we've left on the table because we didn't put ourselves out there to say, hey, world, I'm here. You need what I have to offer, whatever that product or service is. So, why do we freeze? Right? It's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you're just not the person that someone needs in their life right at that moment. It's because your brain is trying to protect you from being seen. It's scary. It is scary, right? Like with that with the game show, like, and I've been on game shows. I've done all of these things, but that was something that was completely out of my comfort zone, was singing in front of a live studio audience. Now, I used to sing on stage, but never as a soloist. So this was so far outside of my comfort zone that it paralyzed me. And that's what happens when we don't show up on camera as business owners, as founders, as CEOs, as the face and brand of our business. So here's what that protection looks like. What your brain is trying to do. You've got imposter syndrome, right? Again, who am I to be on Broadway, right? Imposter syndrome. Perfectionism. I'm going to wait until everything is just right. It's just perfect. Overthinking. OMG. I am the queen of overthinking. I will either overthink or not think at all. There's nothing in between. And that's where a lot of our problems lie as women entrepreneurs over 40. We overthink. I'll do it later. How many times have you said that? You're like, oh, I want to record this video about this product. I'll do it later. I have a friend who has a permaculture business, and she had some products that she bought from like the nursery, like plants and things like that she was going to record herself doing. Well, it took her so long to do it later that the plants died. So now that's another excuse, right? She can't do the video that she was going to do because the plants are dead, because she overthought and she waited too long. I'm going to do it later. And then, I need to lose 10 pounds first. I need to do this. I need to do that. I don't know what to say. I mean, so it's a pattern, and it shows up in different outfits. That's all that is. That's what that pattern is. It just shows up in different outfits, and they're not cute. So again, just, you know, that door to Broadway was open. I slammed it shut. That door for Wayne Brady, I closed that too. And in business, the door opens every single day, right? The door opens every single day when we have the chance to create content, to show up for our business, to be the face of our brand, and we don't. So every time you go live, you're keeping that door open. Every time I can't even talk. I'm so fired up. Every time you record a video, you are having that door open. Every time you post something with your face on it, you're having that door open. Every time you have a thought and you ignore it because fear whispers something stupid, you are closing that door when you let fear and something stupid win. So you're either opening the doors or you're closing them. There's really no in between. You can't stand in the middle of the doorway and, see how the wind blows and see what happens. You have to pick a side. So look, let's go to solutions because I'm all about solutions, right? So, what can you do instead? I'm out of water. All right, we're going to break the pattern. All right. So, number one, I've said this so many times. Record before you feel ready. You're never going to feel 100% ready if that's just not who you are as a person. Um, it is uncomfortable for a lot of people to be on camera. So hit record before you're ready. Readiness, it's a scam. It is a scam. Readiness is a scam. Action is the only thing that creates clarity. Lower the stakes. This is just content. It's Instagram, it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's TikTok, it's X. It's not Carnegie Hall. You're not performing at the Met. You're not performing at Lincoln Center. You're not performing for the president or the queen or the king you're just, it's content, right? Remember we talked about overthinking? Don't overthink it. This isn't, it's not that kind of party. Act fast before fear grows. I mean, look, with that Wayne Brady show, if I did my one song, if they said, okay, do the audition, the third audition right now, I was so pumped up. I was hyped. I thought I could do anything because I went through that second audition. I would have kept going, right? But now I have this time to think, a full 24 hours for my brain to tell me all the things that could go wrong, all the things that could just be bad that I said, oh no, my brain is right. I can't do this shit. No way, no how, nothing doing. So act fast before the fear has a chance to set in and tell you that stupid stuff that we talked about earlier, right? The perfectionism, the overthinking, the yada, yada, yada. Um, Build your comfort muscle. This is one of my favorites because confidence comes from doing things that stretch you. Think about when you're at the gym, right? You get stronger the more you lift weights. You get stronger the more the more cardio you do. You'll get more endurance. You will get more flexible the more stretching you do. So it doesn't, you're not going to magically, wake up one morning and, oh, look, I'm like Popeye. I can, I've got the strength of 15 men. That's not going to happen without the work. And it's the same thing with confidence. You're not going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden say, yep, I'm brave. I've got this. You have to work at it. You have to do it. So the confidence comes in the action. And then borrow courage from your future self, right? Like think about what future you wants to happen. That's the version of you who doesn't hesitate. She's already doing the things that you're avoiding. So you just want to just power through it. So I'll leave you with this. And I'm looking down at my notes because you guys know, if you've been following me, I have the worst memory on the planet. And I always want to make sure to give you guys all the things. I want you to have what's up here because even in my throes of overthinking, in my most, oh my gosh, I've got some imposter syndrome going on. If there's anything that I know, it's like I do know how to help you get comfortable and confident on camera. I do know how to present on camera, how to use the camera as your friend and as a business tool, as a strategy to help you achieve your goals. But I also have a little bit of ADHD, so I have to have notes. Otherwise, I will ramble like I have been for the last 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to close with this. Now, I can't go back and change anything that happened, right? With Broadway, I can't go back and change anything that happened with Don't Forget the Lyrics, but I can stop repeating those patterns that aren't serving me and will not serve me, and you can too. Because you have no idea what is waiting for you on the other side of visibility. I mean, fear might feel safe, but regret, it sticks with you for years. Visibility, it just feels uncomfortable for the moment. And you want to choose the moment, even if it's uncomfortable. Because again, regrets. I mean, heck, who knows? Maybe I would have killed it on that show and it would have launched an actual Broadway career. I don't know because I took myself out of having the chance to do it. So if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, and you know that you've been playing small, avoiding the camera, hiding your brilliance, it's time to knock it off. Just knock it off. Your business can't grow if your audience never sees you. And as I say, and my book on Amazon is titled the same thing. When you're visible, you get paid. So let's get you visible. Let's get you paid. Go to fearnovideo.com to learn more about me, about some of the offers that I have. Um, repurposingqueen.com is another one of my websites, which is great because that's where I show you how to do all the things, be all the places strategically without the overwhelm. Because again, you are a founder, you're a CEO, you're a business person, you are not a freaking full time content creator. If you were, you wouldn't be watching this video because it's a wholly different beast. All right, my friends, get visible, get paid. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.